everybody, my name is Caroline3639. Welcome back to another video today, and this one is the day I bring you my Yu-Gi-Oh! Banlist prediction for the October 2021 Banlist. This has been a long time coming now. Yeah, it's Banlist season, so it's about time we get into my Banlist prediction. Now, two things before we get into it. Number one, I am taking the 2021 Megatins into consideration. We have some rumors that a lot of cards are getting reprinted, some cards are getting released, such as Crossout Designator might get released in that set. We're getting Nadir reprinted and stuff like that, Schism as well, Talents as well. So I'm going to take that into mind while making this Yu-Gi-Oh! Prediction. Also considering the OCG ban list that released, I think, honestly, yesterday. I think released yesterday. Taking that into consideration as well, because sometimes the TCG takes the OCG, some of the OCG's ban list, and puts it into the TCG. So that is what I'm going to do today. Now, is it actually going to release on October 1st? That is what the website says, that it's actually going to release on like October 1st or no earlier than October 1st. Now, I don't think it's going to release around that time. It could be one of those things that they actually wait another month, like wait until November or something like that, because they could, these next couple sets can also change the meta by itself as well. You know, the Flunderies are coming out, Sword Soul's coming out, you know, there's the new cards in the Grand Creator shits and stuff like that. So is it actually going to release in October? Who knows? I don't think it's going to be, if anything, it's going to be more mid-October or late October, but you probably want to get into my prediction. So without further ado, let's get right into them. So before we actually go into the ban list itself, my prediction for the ban list and stuff like that, let's actually cover the cards I don't think that actually will be hit on the ban list. And this time around, I don't think Prank Kids are going to be hit on this list. A lot of people want this Link 1 monster, Prank Kids Meow Meow, to be limited on this list. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think they're going to touch Prank Kids on this list. Maybe they'll hit them in the next list, depending on the format and stuff like that. But I feel like they're not going to do anything to Prank Kids in this list. A lot of people might disagree with me. I understand that. Well, a lot of people disagree with me on all of my ban list predictions and stuff like that. That's just how they are. They're predictions. I don't think this is going to get hit on the ban list. I really don't think so. I think Prank Kids is a good deck. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. This Link 1 does do enough where they can play a shit ton of hand traps and have the one card starter and stuff like that. But I do not think they're going to hit Prank Kids straight away. That's just my prediction. I don't think that's going to happen. If you do disagree with me, go let me know in the comments. But I don't think this is going to happen. But let's actually get into my full predictions, starting with the bans. Starting with the bans, it's Verte and Anaconda. And before you go to the comments and type, no, Verte ain't the problem card, Dragoon is the problem card. Dragoon should be the one that's hit, not Verte and Anaconda. Hear me out. Hear me out here. I understand. I feel like they're going to hit Dragoon, one of the Dragoon packages this time around, because technically the new Dragoon in the Destiny Hero Phoenix Enforcer is coming out in Burst of Destiny. So meaning they're probably going to clear up some room to make sure that card starts selling and stuff like that. So they're probably going to hit the Dragoon engine in some way. I think it's going to be Verte and Anaconda, and I know you guys are probably disagreeing with me. Dragoon is a powerful card. I understand that. But you have to think about it. A lot of decks have the out to Dragoon. That's the reason why Dragoon wasn't banned straight away in the TCG, is because a lot of decks have their out to Dragoon, and when you play like Red Eyes Fusion, you cannot special summon for the rest of the turn and stuff like that. When you throw Verte into the mix, however, you get these combo decks. Mainly, the main focus is Drytron, where they get the combo off, set up a really decent board, and then they throw Verte on top of it, get a Dragoon, and all of a sudden, it becomes this unbreakable board without either Dark Ruler No More or Forbidden Droplet. Now, the problem card is Verte there, because again, Dragoon is a powerful card, but if you play Red Eyes Fusion, you cannot special summon after that. With Verte in the format, you can still combo off, then send Verte, and then get Dragoon. That's why I think they should ban Verte, because if they ban Verte, you have all the combo decks that will not play Dragoon anymore, and you get these control decks that play Dragoon, but really, a lot of decks have outs to Dragoon. I'm sorry to say that. So I think the correct ban here is Verte and Anaconda. And I can see myself 3 months ago probably calling me a crazy person, because 3 months ago I thought Dragoon was the ban that should hit. But this time I think it is Verte and Anaconda. I know probably a lot of you are going to disagree with me. Please let me know in the comments why I am wrong. But that is my prediction. I think it's going to be Verte, not Dragoon. Because honestly, if you ban Verte, all these combo decks loses that access to Dragoon. Maybe Virtual still gets it because they have the Mud Dragon of the Swamp, but they don't get the pops and stuff like that. And you only get the control decks that play the back row. Subterror is the main example of this, which is honestly fine. Subterror is like rogue at best, I think. Maybe tier 2. Like, they're not like tier 1 competitive like things. So I think Verte is the correct hit here. Again, you're probably already typed in the comments how much you fucking hate me. That's fine. That's fine. You dislike the video. I cannot change that. But Verte is my ban here. And then my next and only other ban card in my prediction is Eva. Holy shit, this card is powerful for Drytron. So technically, I'm hitting two things with Drytron in this thing, because technically Verte goes for Drytron as well. But Eva is a super powerful card. If you don't know what Eva does, if this card is sent to graveyard, banish 2 other fairies, add 2 level 2 or lower fairy monsters to your hand. That is so powerful because they play Herald of either Ultimus or Perfection, which either has an Omni Negate, send a fairy from your hand to the graveyard to negate an activation or whatever. Eva just is way too powerful right now, I think. It just adds so many fairies. A lot of people are saying maybe limit Eva, then that will maybe solve the problem. Eva, even at 1, can be a problem, because it can still add 2 other fairies, 2 other negations, maybe even some starters with Diviner of Herald and stuff like that. I think Eva is ready to get banned here, because honestly is a very, very powerful card for Drytrons. I don't think there's really anything else you need to hit in Drytron. I think limiting Nova does nothing because they have Fafnir that can search it out. Limiting Alpha is not that much of a problem because you have Cyber Emergency that can search it out. There's really no other hit besides like maybe banning Ben 10 that really makes sense besides Eva. I know a lot of people are going to say limit Eva and see where it goes from there. But I think Eva, even at 1, is powerful enough where it can still search the fairies, search you the negations and stuff, and you keep a Diviner in hand and stuff like that. I think banning Eva is the correct thing here, which sounds crazy, because if we said that like 3 months ago, I think a lot of people would be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? But I think that is the correct choice here. I know a lot of people want it limited. I think ban would be better in this case. But yeah, that is it for my bans. Now let's get into my limitations. My first limited card here is Tribagage Revolt. Now, this is a card I've been going back and forth on. Do we limit Revolt or maybe limit something like Fractal or something like that? I think Revolt may be the choice here, because now if you limit something like Revolt in the Tribagage deck, they can't really play Pot of Desires because, again, they have a chance of banishing that Revolt in that. It's one of those things, if you hand trap Tribagage, they don't have the drawn Revolt and stuff like that. That's kind of like where Tribagage is. It's like, oh, you hand trap me? Okay, I'll just make sure I have enough cards in graveyard and in the banish area where I'll set a Revolt that I hard drew and then, go off from there. Now, if you limit Revolt, that prevents the hard drawing and stuff like that. They can still search it, and that's still pretty powerful. I think even Revolt at 1 makes the deck still pretty good, but it gives them the chance that where Pot of Desires becomes this really bad option, and then Revolt is just not, they don't hard draw Revolt all the time now. And then if you end up hand trapping them, they actually stop them and stuff. Just like, oh, I drew the Revolt anyways, let me set that and pass turn to you. I think Tribagage will still be a powerful deck with Revolt at 1. But there's really no other correct hit here. Maybe Fractal to 1 could be the other hit you could do for Tribagage. But literally, I don't think there's really anything else you can hit in Tribagage right now. So yeah, I think Revolt is my limitation there for my first limitation. And then my other technically hit to Tribagage is Fire Formation Tenki. This thing is literally just a Rhoda for all Wing Beast, even if it's a hard once per turn. Sure, but holy shit, this thing just gains you so much advantage. You add Fractal off it, and then ends up, if you get Ancient Warrior Oath on the field, you can destroy this card. Send this card to the graveyard to return one of your opponent's cards back to the hand. That just gives them a little bit too much advantage. I think Tenki at 1 is fine. Keep it like a Rhoda kind of thing, where you can only see it very rarely and stuff like that. But it's still a very good card. Tenki is a very powerful card. A lot of people wanted Tenki to be limited in the last list. I think this is going to be the list that actually limit Tenki in, because yeah, Tribagage, I think, probably needs 2 hits for it to actually, to actually calm down the deck. And I think Tenki will calm down, and with the Revolt limitation as well, will calm down the deck. Again, this is just a Rhoda for all the Wing Beast type. I think this is fine at 1. I think this is going to be fine at 1. I think a lot of people, you might not like it, but they won't disagree with it, kind of thing. So that is my limitation on Tenki. And honestly, that could be it. And this can literally be it for the ban list. This is all they can do here. Now, I don't expect them to do it. I think they're going to actually unban a lot of things off this list. But honestly, that's all they can just do. They can literally just hit Drytron, hit Tribe Gauge, and leave it a day and wait for all the other decks to come out. And honestly, I think that's probably the safer option for Konami. But let's take a risk, shall we? Let's actually unban some cards off the ban list, because I feel like that can also switch up the meta as well. So let's actually get into what I think can actually come off and actually be fine. My first one, I think, is Orcust Harpour can go back to 1. I mean, if you have Engage off, you have Mirage Stallion off, you might as well bring back the Orcust Harpour as well, and Thunder Colossus, which we'll get into in just a little bit later. Give me 1 second to talk about that. But Orcust Harpour, it's a very good card for the Orcust engine. I think Orcust not really seeing that much play right now. Maybe like the Orcust Eldritch thing that was running rampant a couple months ago. But like, yeah, at 1 it's powerful, but I don't think it'll shoot Orcust to tier 1 or something like that. Again, I think there's enough decks in the format that can calm down Orcust and stuff like that, especially with the upcoming decks as well. So giving them Harpour is a good consistency boost to the Orcust engine, but I don't think it's going to shoot it to tier 1. Maybe it sees some play at the beginning, something like what we saw Striker do in the beginning of last format when they got Engaged back to 1, where they see immediate play straight away, but then people realize, oh, okay, it's not as good as we thought, and then stop playing it from there on out. I think that's just going to be the case with Orcust Harpour here. That's just my thing. I think it can come off of the 1, be perfectly fine, and not really do much. So, yeah, there you go. Next limitation is Heavy Metal Fool's Electromite. You might as well fucking give Pendulum something. Because, God, Triff is really wanting this card back, doesn't he? I don't think Pendulum is going to do much in today's format. Again, Master Rule 5 still has the restriction on the pendulums and stuff like that. Sure, Electromite is a powerful card, but if you put it at 1, it's not really that much of a problem, because, again, you put it to 1, you can only see it once. It only gains you that advantage once, unless you somehow shuffle it back into your extra deck and then pull it out again. Again, I think this card's fine at 1. Again, I was really scared to, run, way back, back in, the March list. I think that, I was scared that Electromite would actually do something. I don't think Electromite would do something. Sure, it would give the Pendulum something, and it would give every single Pendulum deck something that, okay, let's make this, let's get to gain advantage. After that, I really don't think Pendulum can do much after that. Honestly, they're not doing much now, and I don't think Electromite would all of a sudden change that. So, Electromite to 1, I think it's fine by me. I'm really happy with that. You might as well... Let's give Triff a really happy day. I would love to see Triff's reaction once he sees Electromite off the list. Come on. Let's see that reaction. Come on. I mean, give us that reaction. But yeah, I think Electromite would be fine at 1, no problem. Next thing up on the limitation is Thunder Dragon Colossus. And here's more people probably going down in the comments and what the fuck's wrong with you? There's probably a couple people that just left a dislike as well, because they probably don't want this card coming off the list. Honestly, yes, this card is powerful. I'm not going to lie. A walking Droll Lockbird that can cheat itself out of its extra deck. It's pretty powerful. I'm not going to lie about that. But just because it's powerful doesn't mean it deserves to be banned. Zeus is powerful, but I don't think that card needs to be banned. Honestly, don't think that card needs to be banned. Colossus is a very powerful card. It's a Droll Lockbird on wheels. If you don't know the effect, you cannot. While this card is on field, your opponent cannot add cards from their main deck to their hand except by drawing them. I don't know. And it has self-protection. If it would be destroyed, you would banish a Thunder instead. Again, I don't know. This card, I would like to see it. Engage is to 1. Mirage Stallion is to 1. I predicted Harpour would come to 1. Why not? Electromite to 1. I feel like everything in tossed format. Might as well bring it back. Thunder Dragon Colossus. You brought Engage back, for fuck's sakes. Might as well bring back Colossus. Now, this is going to be interesting because Master Rule 5 is in effect, and Master Rule 5 makes this deck a lot more stronger because now they can just use their main monster zones to summon out Colossus and stuff like that. I think at 1, it's fine. I think if it's at 2 or 3, it is a problem because then it gets easier to cheat out Titan and stuff like that. But at 1, it's powerful. But I feel like there's still ways to out this deck. Yes, I know a lot of people are not going to like me for this because I say ban Verte and then also say put Thunder Dragon Colossus to 1. But honestly, I would like to see what this card does. They're unbanning a lot of stuff from the top format that they banned. Let's bring back Colossus, shall we? This is the last card that has not been unbanned besides Harpour as well. let's bring back Colossus. Let's see what it does. It's powerful shit, not gonna lie, but I think at 1, it's going to be fine. At 2 or 3, fuck that. But at 1, I think is fine. And then last thing up is limiting Mystic Mine. Now, this was a very late inclusion. That's why you don't see the number 1 on the top left corner of Mystic Mine. The reason why I put this on is because the OCG actually banned Mystic Mine. Now, that can very much possibly happen here, but I think at 1 is probably what they're going to do, because at least you get Mine at 1. You know, strikers can still do their bullshit with Mine and stuff like that, but it doesn't become this, you know, deck where they just revolve around Mystic Mine and stuff like that. And like once you out Mystic Mine, they don't have another Mystic Mine after that. So you know what, like, and I also think that like the OCG, you also have to consider they have like macro at 3, skill drain at 3, and shit like that. So it's like they have a plenty, and then Vanity's and Emptiness at 1 still over there. So it's like they have like a lot more floodgates over there than just Mine. Now over here, a lot of that shit is either banned or limited. Now if you put Mine to 1, I think it's fine. I don't want to absolutely kill the card, because I like the card, because if you like, you know, absolutely combo off, if you're going against, it gives you a chance to go second, is what I'm trying to say here. If you're going against a very combo heavy board, and most of the time if you're going second, this card's not really going to do much, because they're most likely going to negate it, and there's no other Mine if you limit it to 1. So I think limiting Mine to 1 is probably the correct decision here. They could just straight up ban it like they did in the OCG. But I think limiting Mine over here would just be enough for the card not to really do anything. It's not really doing much now, but might as well limit it because it's still a very fucking powerful card. I think at 1, it's fine. I think at 3, it's fucking a little bit crazy. But I think at 1, it's perfectly fine. So that is it for starting off with Double Iris Magician. Now, this card was semi-limited for some reason in the last format. Why? You could have just brought it to 3 without any problems. It was doing nothing at 1, and it did nothing at 2, so it's probably going to do nothing at 3. Now, I am bringing back Electromite, so that could be a little bit hesitant. But again, I think even with Double Iris Magician at 3, I don't think Pendulums are going to do anything, even with Electromite limited to 1. Maybe it gets them a good consistency boost and stuff like that, but I don't feel like they're going to do much. Yeah, I feel like there was no reason for this to be on the semi-limited list, so let's move it to the unlimited list. So yeah, I think that's a safe option for me there. Yeah, Double Iris to 3. I think a lot of people are going to predict this because it's at 2 and it's doing nothing, so it's probably going to do nothing at 3. So yeah, there is that first unlimited take. Next thing up is a Hero Lives. Now, Destiny heroes are actually getting more support in the, or the heroes technically, are getting more support in the next Burst of Destiny. They're getting more support. They're getting Destiny Hero Dasher, or not Dasher, Destiny Hero Phoenix Enforcer and stuff like that, with a couple new trap cards, or a trap card and a couple new monsters as well. Now, a lot of people think they're probably going to move Malicious to 3 to maybe support that. Let's not do that, because Malicious is still a powerful card. Let's do a Hero Lives from 1 to 3, because I think this card can come off at this point. It's been on the limit list for a while now, and I feel like it's a card that can come off. And with the new support coming out in Burst, this could make sense as well. So you can give a little bit more of a support to those hero decks that could use a Hero Live. So yeah, I feel like this card can come to 3, with somewhat of a problem because of the new support and stuff like that. But if it gets a consistency boost to Hero, I would like to see that. Why not? Let's give Hero some support, shall we? So there is some unlimitation for a Hero Lives. Next thing up is Speedroid Terratop, and now this is a little bit of a risky move with Terratop, because in ranked, especially, it's supposed to be this card that helps you get to your Speedroids and stuff like that in the Speedroid deck. Now, in actual competitive play, this just end up being a good way to get to rank 3s really fast in the game. That's why it's limited to 1 right now, so that doesn't happen. But Synchro Storm is supposed to be coming out this year. Now, does that release date stick? I don't think so. But if the release date still stays the same, Terratop is getting reprinted in that set, and more Speedroid support is coming out in that set as well. So why not? Let's bring Terratop to 3. This could be a little risky, because there's a lot of rank 3 engines that could use this card. Off the top of my head, Phantom Knights can use this card to very good success. Virtual World can probably use this card as well. But I feel like this can come to 3, help the Speedroid Terratops, and then also help a couple other decks in the process as well. And then if it ends up being a problem, then I guess relimit it. But I want to see, since it's getting more support and it's getting a reprint as well, I can see this card coming to 3 for that reason. Next thing up is Reasoning. Now, this I feel like can come off. I know a lot of people feel like, oh, well, the Noids are going to do something with it. I'm fine with that. What does Noids do exactly? Like, I'm fine with that. I'm completely fine. If Noids is the only deck that can take advantage of this, by all means, take advantage of it. I think Reasoning is a really bad card at 1 right now. I feel like it can come off the 3 and probably do something, but not much to change the metagame and stuff like that. So I think Reasoning can come off the 3, help the Noids, and help a couple other decks that like the Graveyard being sent to Graveyard and stuff like that. Now, I actually originally had Grasslick Greener on here as well, but then I probably came to my wise decision that's also going to be a problem. But I think Reasoning coming to 3 would probably be the better choice here. Help a couple of decks that would like this card and see it more consistently and stuff like that. But honestly, I don't think this is going to do much in putting it back to 3. So yeah, there's that. And then the last thing up for my ban list prediction is Time Seal. I don't understand why this card's on the ban list. Why is this card banned? Out of all the cards that are still currently banned, you have this card banned. This card does nothing. You technically don't even get its effect until turn 4, and most Yu-Gi-Oh matches do not last until turn 4. Don't understand why this card is banned whatsoever. It's a relic of an old time, and yes, it might have been powerful way back in like something like 2005. It definitely ain't powerful in 2021. Feel like this card can come off the 3. I don't understand why this card is at it's banned. I don't know. This is also a list, also entry. Like, I feel like all the Flip monsters can probably come off the list because Flip is really that bad. Like, Night Assailant's on the ban list because of discard reasons, but like, okay, you're gonna play 2 bricks so you can get discard fodder. That just doesn't make sense to me. Either, like, Yatagarasu can probably come off as well. There's a lot of cards that are on the ban list that can probably take off, and it would not create a problem. I feel like Time Seal is the main example of this, because Time Seal, literally, if you read this card now, is complete garbage. Skip the draw phase to your opponent's next turn. Yeah, it's pretty dumb. I don't think this card can ever. I don't think this card deserves to be on the ban list. But yeah, that is it for the video. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. I'll probably shit ton of dislikes on my video, probably because of the Verte ban, and I probably deserve it. But yeah, those are my predictions. Again, it's just a prediction. It's not like it's going to come true. I just understand that it's not going to come true. It's just my predictions. But, you know, yeah, I'm sorry that I probably pissed some people off with this video. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe for more content on the channel. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.